welcome to Spark Rugby League. We're going to discuss Luke Thompson now. A lot of speculation around him. A lot of people saying he's at the moment the form prop in the world, perhaps. Never really has a bad game anymore. Helped Saints win the grand final, got the man of the match in the grand final, played almost all the game, attracting eyes from the NRL now, particularly from, I think it's the Bulldogs, Trev. Which particular teams seem to be after him?
Yeah, so the rumour is there's the two main teams, the Bulldogs and the West Tigers.
Right, are they after a commanding prop, is that?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And that, obviously both teams need good strong front rowers and that, and obviously the Bulldogs have been known for their bite over the years for a long time.
Yeah.
And they're sort of missing that go forward, especially since Jane Graham left.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's a similar move to Graham. He obviously went from Saints to the Bulldogs now. Following in his footsteps, have you seen much of Luke Thompson? Do you think he could make a similar sort of impact?
I believe if he went over there and gave it a good shot and gave everything, I believe he can make a similar impact.
Yeah.
Would I say he's at the same level as James Graham was when James Graham went over there? Not yet, because everyone knew who James Graham was.
True. Right,
I'm not saying he can't go over and do it, but when James Graham arrived on the Australian shores back in 2012 with the Saints, everyone knew about him.
Yeah.
Everyone knew who he was before he came. And that people were still saying, Luke Thompson who?
Yeah. Well, of course, he's improved vastly over the last couple of seasons, and I think
definitely.
it was the second test, England, the Kiwis at Anfield, where he really...
May have been,
and I don't think the Kiwis really knew much about him, and he really stepped up and showed what he was all about. Now, is it the right time for him to maybe be looking, or should he stay at Saints a couple more seasons and then kind of move on when he's a little bit older, because he's still only 23, 24?
Yeah. No, I personally think he'll stay at Saints this season.
Yeah.
I know that's when he's got a year left on his contract. And I know Eamon McManus has been quite adamant that he's going nowhere for the foreseeable future. I know you mentioned that the Bulldogs and the West Tigers are after him, but I saw a report in the past couple of days that South Sydney Rabbitohs are also interested. That's obviously Wayne Bennett, so it's got the England and Great Britain connection. And that's all to do as well with the talk of Sam Burgess's future.
Right, yeah.
Obviously he's got an injury that's kept him out of this GB tour that is potentially even threatening his future in the game. And there's now rumours that Bennett sees Thompson as the kind of guy who could replace Burgess, which you can see, I think. But I think for now, I don't think he'll go anywhere. I know rumours are really starting to ramp up, especially down under, that a move could be imminent. But for now, I think he will spend the next season with St Helens, and then possibly make the move at the end of 2020.
Yeah, I reckon what the Bulldogs were more looking for, but they were trying to, what was rumoured, was they were trying to get both him and Alex Walmsley together.
Right,
so,
yes, yeah.
And they tried to get him as a package. And that, so I probably think if it is true, and that, I know if I was Luke Thompson, I'd be talking to Alex, well, if they want us both together, let's have a talk and let's see where we can, and they try to line up, because then they I believe they both push each other to be the best that they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we can't do that with another front rower, but in my opinion, and this was nothing against Luke, no disrespect, I always thought in the grand final, even though yes he did play the 80 minutes, I thought Walmsley was the man who laid the platform in the grand final. Yeah. And was very unlucky not being named man of the match himself. I was happy either way that the front rower got it. But I think Walmsley pushes Luke to be better.
Yeah, I agree, and also the thing with that is it's a huge move going to the other side of the world. And we've seen with the Raiders, English players that almost aren't hesitating going there, because you've got Bateman, Elliot Whitehead's there, one of my best mates, and Hodgson, and
it's a lot to do with the culture, I think.
Yeah.
Which is why I think if Thompson was to make the move, of the three clubs that we just mentioned, I think South would be the one that perhaps I could see as the favourite, just simply because he knows Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
He knows Tom Burgess. I know George Burgess coming back here, but he knows Sam Burgess as well. So even if he moves and Sam's still playing, that's still another familiar face.
That's right.
And I think that is a lot of the draw now, is that once one player makes the move and goes to a certain club, the rest are going to follow.
Yeah.
And And I think that a lot of NRL teams may now start looking to do that because of the success that Ricky Stewart's had doing that at the Raiders.
Well,
Yeah.
I've always said, like, if I was an NRL coach, when it comes to picking players from over here, I'd be going for the forwards because I believe that the English make the best forwards.
Yeah.
And that good, tough.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. You can change them to be whatever body shape they want, but they're just tough.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what we are missing in the game, is just good old toughness.
Yeah.
Well, the kind of English players that usually do well in the NRL are typically forwards.
Yeah.
You know, forwards have got a much better strike rate than backs have.
That's right.
And I think that's probably in line with what you've just been saying, Trev, is that, you know, the way they're built suits the Australian game perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's just the tough players that can take the hits and give them out just as well.
That's right.
I think we can probably say as well, the likelihood is at the end of this year that Luke Thompson probably will get offers from the NRL if his contract is running down. So, I mean, if you're Luke Thompson now, you've got a year left at Saints, do you stay for that year and then look towards the NRL? Or if, say, the Bulldogs come in now, would you make the move now?
Oh, well, if I was Luke Thompson and there was an offer on the table,
Yeah.
and that, like, I'll go to, with all respect to the St. Helens, I'll still go have a talk to him
Yeah.
and say, if I left, who do you have to replace me?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to leave him short either
Yeah,
and
true,
burn
yeah.
a bridge.
Yeah, that's true. What about for you, Jack? Would you
I think it's probably, again, I think, like I said, I think he'll wait another season at least. I know he'll have offers, but I think he'll wait this extra season.
Yeah.
And I think it is probably just around the right time for him. You know, usually I think you'll see front rowers reach their peak towards the mid to late 20s,
Yeah.
approaching the age of 30, and that's the age you'll sort
That's
of
when
be getting
that's
around.
when most front rowers are at their best.
Exactly,
In
yeah.
their late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And as a player, you
Because
don't
that's
want to
when
be
they're mature.
you don't want to be going to the NRL into a competition like that when you're too young, and when it may overwhelm you. You know, you may be a bit out of your depth.
It's
But
very
you
true.
also don't want to be going when you're too old.
Yeah.
And when you've got younger forwards that are going to be serving up better performances than you.
Yeah.
So I think at the age he is now, he's probably hitting just about the right time to be seriously considering that move.
Right.
And I think he probably will be doing over the next year or so.
And just lastly, is it a worry perhaps that, I mean, almost our standout players, are you happy for them to go to the NRL? Do you think it's affecting Super League, or do you think it's a good thing?
I'm sort of on the fence about that, because I think at the end of the day you've got to look at the player's individual situation, and as it stands, I don't think there's much disputing that the NRL is the elite competition of the two.
Yeah.
And so if we're talking from an England international point of view,
Yeah.
we want our best players to be going
playing.
over there, playing in the best competition, that is then ultimately going to improve them as players. If you then look at it from a Super League point of view, yes, we are losing some of our elite talent,
Yeah.
but until we sort of reach the NRL level in terms of playing standard, we're not going to be able to keep them anyway, and we're not going to be able to get them to play to the best of their ability. So I'm on the fence, because I can see both points of view, but I think from Luke Thompson's own viewpoint and own personal agenda, it's something that he will definitely be considering, and I reckon will eventually take up.
Look, I know I'm going to go off topic just a little bit, not too far off topic, but just with what you were saying about, it's great to have the players going over, and we're losing them here in England. Just something I was thinking about just the other day, actually, when I was up in Hull, and I was like, why doesn't the Super League go back to winter? Because then we can go back where the players from Australia end of season, they can come over here, play winter here. Players here, when they're finished, they can go back, and then obviously you'll see the return on the old Great Britain tours and the old Kangaroo tours. Because I believe that's when the game was at its strongest.
Yeah.
And that's for another discussion though.
That's our next topic sorted right there. Just lastly, Luke Thompson, would he make it in the NRL?
I think so.
Yeah, I reckon he can make it.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think Luke Thompson would make it? Should he go now, or should he wait out? Let us know in the comments. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell.